I'm Marissa, and I am a self-taught metalsmith and otherwise kind of crafty lady. Halloween is right around the corner, and I want to add a few more things to my Halloween collection. Unfortunately, it's making a very late debut, so you guys might be wearing these in November. But anyway, we're going to make a spooky little ring today, and I'd love to show you the process. So this is basically a tutorial on how you would make a ring, and you could substitute the little stone for any stone that you have and really follow the same kind of process. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will try to get back to you with some advice. Let's get started. So first you're going to pick out your stone. I am choosing this black onyx Coffin cabochon. And I like to trace my cabochon so that I have an idea of what I'm working with. And then I tend to design around the cabochon. Sometimes I will do this on sticker paper so that I can transfer the design right to my metal by taking the sticker paper off the backing and just sticking it right on and cutting things out. In this case, it's a pretty straightforward design. So I'm just going to start here with some bezel wire, and I'm going to wrap the stone and create my bezel cup. This is the setting for your stone. I like to use this serrated edge bezel on hard to shape stones because it does allow for easier setting when the time comes to set your stone. And you want to make sure that you have a really nice and straight joint and that you don't have a gap. So whatever you need to do to kind of make your silver a little more springy so that you can secure those two sides. And now I'm just going to go ahead and solder my bezel together. The next thing that I'm going to do is cut out the little flower details for my design. And I wish that it went this fast, but it definitely does not. So just be patient and use a lot of Sol lubricant and you'll get through this, I promise. The next thing I'm going to do is give my flowers a little dimension by using a doming block and a dapping set and just kind of dome them. The next thing I'm going to want to do is create the little centers for the flowers, and I do this by cutting up scrap silver wire and just basically heating it until it pools into a ball, and the silver will naturally want to pool up on itself. So now I'm just going to check the layout and see that I like how everything looks. I got this casting from a business online and I will put a link in the description, but I decided not to go with that. I made my own little fern. It was a little bit too big and I will use it for another project. I also like the fact that everything on the ring is something that I made, so it looks very organic and it just flows a little bit better. That I have all the little components ready to go, I'm going to solder everything to the back plate and then solder on the ring band, and then we really just have a few more steps and the ring is finished. Let's go. So unfortunately, I skipped myself recording soldering the coffin to the back plate, but I did. And now I'm going to solder all of the little components, the fern and the little flowers. It does take some time to lay these things out, so don't get frustrated. Let's mix up a fresh batch of pickle. So I just use household vinegar. And I love this little crock pot. It's like for dips and things. I find it to be like just the right size, and then I'm not wasting a lot of pickle. So that's probably about 2 cups, maybe 2.5 cups, 3 cups. I'm not even sure. It might even say what size. And then I just put a healthy dose of table salt in there. I would say probably 2 tablespoons. And then I just give it a stir. And that I always keep warm, so that'll heat up and dissolve. So now I'm going to saw around my design and remove it from the back plate. And I try to get as close to the edges as I can and then remove the rest with traditional files or my Dremel tool or flex shaft. I always wear a respirator when I'm doing this, and it's a really good practice to do because breathing in this dust is really bad news. Safety is sexy, people. Okay, so now it's time to pick out our ring band. I'm going to go with something a little chunkier because I know the ring is going to be kind of a statement piece, so I want this ring band to be able to support it. for my rings, I like to do an open band in the back. I just feel like the ring fits better and the stone sits better on your finger. So for that, I like to just have a little space and then I sand them flat until it sits on the back of the back plate nice and flush. And now I'm just going to solder the ring band onto the back plate. And I try to take my time with this so I don't get solder everywhere all over the back plate because it's very hard to clean. So I try to really be careful when I'm placing my solder. I use liver of sulfur and boiling water to mix up a patina, and this will create a lot of depth and dimension to your piece. So I'm going to just plop that in and wait until it turns black, and then I will polish down the raised areas to bring back some of that dimension. I'm going to polish the ring going through the stages of starting with about 400, going to 600, and then 800, and then 1,000. And then I'm going to pop it in the tumbler with some steel shot, soap, and water, and just give it that extra high polish. It's finally time to set the stone. This is such an exciting part. You've come all this way. It should just fit like a glove, and this one does. And then the serrated bezel does make setting the stone a lot easier. So I'm just going to use a bezel pusher and just gently push that up around the stone to tighten it. If you liked this tutorial and you want to see more, then please hit the subscribe button. And you can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. If you have any questions about this video or just metalsmithing questions in general, I'm an open book and I love helping other women on their journey to becoming metalsmiths. Until then, I'll see you next time.